This past week, I toyed with making a drift weight out of a zip tie and then 3.5-inch lead wire, which I glued onto the zip tie, and then I covered it with electrical tape, then covered electrical tape with liquid wire sealer. Also, I found in my fishing stuff something that somebody gave me maybe 17, 18 years ago. It's called a weight slider. You put it on your fishing line up above your swivel, and then you have your hook and your line below that. So I got it attached here. You see it's got plenty of free room to move around. Alright, while I was doing that this past week, fishing buddy of mine, Dan McGuire from the foothills of North Carolina, was trying to figure out a way to use some of this material that he knows how to work with. And he didn't like the slip weights, and I don't need, the slip corks, and I don't need the currently available. Some of them have a piece of wire, spiral wire that you pull out to come down on the bead when it gets to the top, but they rust and break. The others using a rubber band or a piece of string to tie. So he came up with this idea. His peg has a hole in it. And you take the peg out and fold a piece of line back into that hole and then put the peg. And this is what happens when the fish hits. That little line comes out and you see the rest of the line going down all the way. And I'll show you how this works. If I can keep everything together. Just take your line. Y'all be patient with me because I can't see real good. Run it in this hole here. I'm going to run it down about, estimating about 1 inch or so. Let your peg come back. Push it down. Alright, then you pull this part down to inside almost, just like that. You do this after you've already set your did your count out for your suspended fish. You got your bait on, you do your countdown, then you do this process right here. And again, when the fish hits, this will pull out, and this will stay on the top. And then when you get ready to, as you bring your fish in, so it's going to bring everything back up here. So what fascinates me is Dan McGuire and myself, not knowing what the other one was doing, was coming up with an efficient way to fish, for suspended fish or for just regular fishing. And I called him Wednesday or Thursday to tell him where the suspended fish were on Lake Norman, because he normally fishes on Friday. Well, he said he couldn't. He had to meet with some teachers, and he would fish Sunday. And I says, well, I got something to give you. I want you to try out. And that was this zip tie weight system. He said, I've got something for you, and I'll bring you two. So I gave him two of my zip tie weights, and he gave me two of these. And if it's not windy, I'll be trying these out tomorrow along with my side planer boards. With this, you can let it out 40, 50, 60 feet behind the boat, get away from the boat noise, get away from the shadow of the boat, and most likely have a better chance at catching a nice catfish. Also, if you want to, you can use a side planer board with this. Set everything up with your float, with your bait on, get your depth right, and then let maybe 10 or 20 feet of line out, and then attach your planer board, and that will take it way out to the either your left or right side. Can't wait to try it. I know it's going to work. There's no doubt about that. But I'll show you the results later. Have a good one.